lights the red. Let battle commence. All from here. Rivers and White.
Two Wheels is proudly powered by Broadlink, delivering serious bandwidth for serious business. Welcome to the Brother News Desk. This week we visit the Casterbridge Hollow Hotel for a report of the Liquorland Hyde Enduro. Your commentator is the mercurial Dave Peterson.
Thanks, Steve. Hardly. Yes, welcome to this week's Enduro held at the Casterbridge Hollow Hotel, which is near White River in Mpumalanga. One of the top contenders today, Lawrence Mahoney.
But I think overall it's going to be a flowing track, a lot of single track, and nothing difficult, nothing too hectic like the previous one. But yeah, it's going to be a good race for everyone. I think there's going to be a lot of guys finishing today and a lot of people enjoying this event.
The second in the series, organised by the Lowveld Enduro Club, and thanks to Jack Brotherton for opening up the land around the Casterbridge Hotel. Huge entry for this event, and who said off-road racing is going nowhere?
I believe it's a lot less technical than the last race, and so yeah, it should be a lot less tiring for the guys today, except for the heat.
We're going to put a camera on board with Nicholas Wade, and that's one way of getting the tire off a motorcycle. Yes, and it's going to be hot out there. You do have to apply suntan cream. The Coca-Cola is not going into the motorcycle, it's actually a Camelback. Fatties and Monies are here as well. And Wayne Everton, the contender in the seniors class, he did in fact win the first round of this event, which was held a few weeks ago, organised by the Hyde boys from the Lowveld Enduro Club. Let's chat to Wayne.
Wonderful day. Looks like it's going to be hot today, 33 degrees. Starting off in 8th position. So just hope to do the same as what we did at the last race. Take it home in first place.
Jack Brotherton explains the route to all of the riders. And a moment's silence for one of our fallen riders from Swaziland. Start of the race about to take place. Bike number 108, Lawrence Mahoney on the Brother KTM. That is a 350cc XCW, and it sounds fantastic. Next away will be Dwayne Kleinhans. So they're starting off in their seeding positions. So it'll avoid bottlenecks out on the trail. And you can see Lawrence and Dwayne going very quickly through that section before they get the little jumps under the Yamaha tabletop. Nicholas Wade will go on board with him. And he's riding for the Liquorland KTM team. And we are on board. You can see the jumps under the Yamaha tabletop as he goes out into the fields. It's going to get rather more technical a bit later on. Oh, almost losing the front end right there. Wayne Everton on the Brother KTM, leading the seniors class after the first round of events. Wonder what he'll do today. That's Garth Prost on the Cargo Attack Husqvarna, and Wayne Everton right on his tail. He's looking for an overall result, not just in the seniors class. Andrew Kloppers goes through in the open class on E98. The leader of the 200cc class, Kyle Erasmus, with his Yamaha. And just behind him, lady rider Kirsten Lundman on the Brother KTM.
Well, it's very, very hot, so I hope we can not cramp too badly. I hope we just keep it smooth. That's the plan and the strategy. Let's see how it goes.
Gary Franks is a very good rider, I must tell you. Down on the start line, there's quite a few nerves. And some of these riders will take all day to get out there. In fact, some of them starting 140th down on the grid. Darby Homan, he's riding the silver class, goes through there under the Yamaha banner. And just behind him, Kronya Human, also in the silver class. So starting procedure could take quite a long time for some of these riders. David LaRue, silver class. And just behind him, Terence Hyde on the KTM Freeride 250cc two-stroke, which we tested just a few weeks ago right here on Two Wheels TV. A road crossing. This is a controlled section of the track, so marshals, and thanks to the local police, who will be stopping some of the cars coming along. C10, that's Gavin Smith, as he heads off into the difficult part of the trail. This big rock climb, it looks quite difficult, but actually the riders are finding it quite easy. That's Matthew Barker, Yamaha mounted in the seniors class as he goes up and over the rock. Francois Dutoy arrives. He's riding in the 200cc class with the Raceworks KTM. Looking very smooth out there on the trail. This is Gary Franks, who we spoke to earlier on the day. He's got his bike well set up for today's race. That looks like a 250cc KTM. Then John Smith, he's riding in the open class as he climbs up the rocky section. Wimpy van Rensburg in the silver class. Now we're starting to back up as we come up this part of the trail. And apparently they're heading off to what they call baboons a bit later on today. That's going to be difficult. That was Herman Poss in the senior class, bike number 447. Back on board with Nick Wade. Let's hear what it sounds like on the trail. That hole caught him out completely. I wonder who put that there. Sounds like he's bent his front forks with a triple clamp trying to extract the machine out of that big hole on the Liquorland KTM. Thanks to Bertus, our helicopter pilot. Kyle Ferguson, our cameraman, is going to get some aerial shots here today. Straight away we pick up on the leader of today's race, and it is Lawrence Mahoney, who is simply flying along at the moment. See the style of Lawrence, and just behind him E21 William Gillett, the Wild William, who's lying second in the series at the moment. Just behind them Vincent Labaskachny, who's lying second in the 200cc class at the moment. Wayne Everton arrives, the first of our senior riders. And he really is getting to grips with that machine this year. Clinton Dupree, well, he's riding what they call the green class today, so it's an easier route for them, and just explaining the way the route does work to some of the riders and the marshals out there. Spectacular scenery, and thanks to the farmers who've let us come and ride on their land for today. Huge mid-packed dices going on the single track trail. And the views from the helicopter, well, as I said, they are spectacular. It's about 36 degrees down there on the ground, so most of these riders will be sucking heavily on their camelbacks. Lawrence Mahoney completes his first lap of today's race and simply flies through that section. Wild William arrives a few minutes later with the Liquorland Yamaha, makes mincemeat of that rocky outcrop. This is Dwayne Kleinhans, so that's the first, second and third positions on the road at the moment.
I want to catch these young boys today.
Wild Will in his 40s now.
Yeah, I was going good and ran out of fuel there. Really sucks.
Dwayne Kleinhans explaining it's 57 k's per lap, and when you're on the gas, that can be a problem. This is Nick Wade arriving back from the pit area. And so it's very technical over here, and those logs catching up many of the weekend warriors today. Luckily, not too much rain overnight, so it's not too slippery out there on the grass. Great throttle control. This is the rocky outcrop, man-made of course. Up and over the finish ramp and into the timing section.
Hey, it's fast, eh? Sure.
Very fast enduro today. Dennis Jacobs arrives. He's riding in the seniors class, and looking at the corrected time, he's third on the road at the moment. Dick Bessinger, he's second on the road with the seniors. Barry's Barnard. Woo. Fantastic ride through that section. This is Warren Barrell. Also does well in the EWXC series, which is coming up actually this coming weekend. Hugo Leroux. He's lying second in the silver class, making mincemeat of that section. Matt Coleman, the leader of the green class. C748. So they've got an easier route for the green guys. Wilhelm Lehani. He's lying second in the green class at the moment.
Not too bad, eh?
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Roasties on my nipples, but I'm fine.
Well, that's why we wear plasters on our, on those areas, because you don't want to be sucking lemons at the end of the day. TD Munro on 629 out on the far section of the track. Michael Lacrangi, 174. He's lying third in the silver class at the moment. This is Matt Coleman coming through. When you see the camera, you do just have to stand the bike up on the back wheel. Wild Will. He is simply flying along, really enjoying today's event. Another little road crossing and then a gnarly rock climb to come. Dwayne Kleinhans, hoping not to run out of fuel this time around, ahead of one of the Clubman riders. Notice how he stands on the pegs and just keeps momentum going all the way up. Sounds like a WR250. Hope he's got a fan fitted to that bike. When I say a fan, I mean something to keep the engine cool around the radiator region. Nick Wade arrives. How does he shape up? Don't worry, the orange thing dangling in front of the camera is actually a pipe for his camelback, which he'll be sucking on once he gets to the top of this climb. Good for spectators, and the White River guys are loving it. having this sort of series taking place in Mpumalanga. Momentum, the name of the game for Nick Wade. Barent Erasmus arrives with his Katum. Doing very well over that jump section. Lawrence Mahoney is heading for home now. Looks like he's got this one wrapped up. He's pulled out a massive lead over the second and third place men. In fact, just showing off for us a little bit out there on the far section of the trail. This is Gavin Smith. Ooh, almost wiping out a tree there. Gary Bostock, pumping his way through. Just behind them, this is Ian Pinkerton, well known in off-road circles. Knows what he's doing with that motorcycle. Nick Wade, stuck again. This is extremely tricky. It's like a mini baboon's overgrown though. Single track, no chance of overtaking in this section of the race. What did I say? Quite easy when you're Nick Wade. Sean Bontekoning. Checkpoint Charlie, and right next to him is Simon Allen. Have to get those stamped at the end of the race. They'll be checking out that you have completed the whole course, of course. This is Lawrence Mahoney. Look how fast he's riding today. He is so on form, recovered from that injury last year. Great to see that. Carlo Render arrives. Not quite as quick as you can see, but he is one of our master riders. Junior rider out having some fun with his dad. Just checking out the trail. Looks like the rear tyres completely out of balance on that machine. This is Nick Wade then. Just a few Ks from home now. And he'll be breathing a sigh of relief. Mind you, he'll be regretting a couple of crashes that he's had there with our onboard camera, which we're regretting as well, by the way. This is what it's like to be on an Enduro of almost national level. Kyle Quinteo goes over the man-made bridge. Without the bridge, well, they'd be stuck in the mud, wouldn't they? Simon Allen, the same section of the track, and he's on 484. And this is Etienne Espach. Got a steep climb coming out of there. These bikes make mincemeat of that. Right next to the main road. Lisa Ackerman. She's on a KTM free ride, doing well in the silver class. Second lady on the road. Douglas Capers. Looks like he's making up for lost time. And that's Edwina Lutch. She's third in the ladies class. But here is our race winner, Lawrence Mahoney. What a spectacular finish from him.
I had a good race. You know, the guys out there are really riding well, so I could never really take it easy. You had to just make sure you don't waste time, don't fall, save the bike because it's very rocky out there. But yeah, we had a clean run today. Big thanks to my team, Brother KTM, all my sponsors. Couldn't do it without the Rockstar, TRP, you know, everybody behind me. That's what pays off at the end of the day. And no, I just want to thank the Lord for keeping me safe. It's tough out there, it's rough, it's dangerous, it's fast. So to be in one piece is a blessing.